Friends from the press, good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the State Council Information Office. Today, we'll release the white paper on China's green development in the new era. And today's conference will be an interpretation of the white paper, and the white paper deeply follow through on the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics and the spirit of the 20th CPC National Congress. It is an embodiment of China's implementation of the green development philosophy and shares China's practices in developing green development and shares China's progress and actions in promoting green development and China's contribution and values and international cooperation against climate change. The white paper has 3 parts of over 18,000 words, and there are 7 main bodies. First, firmly pursue the path of green development. Second, the green spatial pattern has been formed. Third, the optimization of industrial structure. Fourth, the advocacy of green production. Fifth, the prevailing trend of a green ways of living. Sixth, the joint efforts towards a protection of Earth, our common home. And the white paper has been translated into 8 foreign languages and is available in all Xinhua bookstores in China. To help you better understand and have a deeper understanding of the white paper, we're honored to be joined by Mr. Zhao Chenxin, Vice Chair of the National Development Reform Commission, Mr. Xin Guobin, Vice Minister of Industry and Information Technology, Mr. Liu Guohong, Vice Minister of Natural Resources, and Mr. Zhao Yingming, Vice Minister of Ecology and Environment. They will give opening remarks and answer questions. First, I'll give the floor to Mr. Zhao Chenxin. Friends from the press, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to join you and my colleagues at today's conference and release the white paper on China's green development in the new era. This is the hard copy of the white paper. And since the 18th CPC National Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core has made a host of important arrangements to achieve significant progress in China's green development. The white paper on China's green development in the new era summarizes the measures and progress of China's green development in the past decade and elaborates on China's core principles and practices in pursuing green development. It is rich in substance and clear in priorities. The moderator just briefed you on the main structure of the white paper, and would like to brief you on the main content of the white paper in the following 3 aspects. To begin with, it demonstrates the core concepts of China's green development in the new era. First, the people-centered development philosophy. Bearing in mind that a sound environment benefits all people, China has promoted green production and a green way of living and improved the quality of environment. The people have thus gained a greater sense of benefit, happiness, and security. Second, to ensure the sustainable development of the Chinese nation and follow the principle of green is gold, China has given priority to environment and pursued green and low-carbon development, which has contributed to the integrated progress of the economy, environment, and society. Third, stay committed to system thinking and coordinated implementation, with a balanced focus on development and protection, overall and partial interests, and the present and the future. China has coordinated the industrial structural adjustment, pollution management, environment protection, and climate response, and taken synchronized effort to reduce emission and pollution and increase green coverage and growth. Fourth, contribute to the world's sustainable development. With the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind, China remains an important participant, contributor, and leader in improving the environment of the world. China has contributed its wisdom and strength to the sustainable development of the world. And the second main point of the white paper is the practice and progress of China's green development in the new era. First, the quality of environment has improved. Over the past decade, China has increased forestation by 64 million hectares, prevented and treated 18.5 million hectares of sand, planted grass, and improved 40 million hectares of land, and identified and restored more than 800,000 hectares of wetlands. The area of forest, grassland, wetland, river, and lakes has continued to increase, and the trend of desertification has been effectively reversed. Environment quality improved significantly. In 2021, the annual average concentration of PM 2.5 on prefecture level and above dropped from 46 micrograms per cubic meter in 2015 to 30, and 87.5% of days last year had good air quality. The proportion of surface water at or above grade 3 was 84.9% in 2021. Second, economic development has been greener and of better quality. Strategic emerging industries have become important engines for economic development. High-tech manufacturing accounted for 15.1% of the added value of industries above the designated size in 2021, which was 5.7 percentage points higher than in 2012. Green industries is booming, and China tops the world in its production scale of clean energy equipment. The output of energy conservation and environment protection industries exceeded 8 trillion yuan in 2021. Third, a green way of production has been promoted. The development of industry, agriculture, and the service sector has been more greener, and the energy structure has been improved. Transportation, greener and more low carbon, and the efficiency of resources used has increased significantly. Since 2012, the proportion of clean energy consumption in China has risen from 14.5% to 25.5% by 2021, and coal consumption fallen from 68.5% to 56%. China's 6.6% annual economic growth was supported by only 3% increase annually of energy consumption. And China's energy consumption per unit of GDP fell by 26.4%, making China one of the countries with the fastest reduction in energy intensity in the world. Fourth, a green way of living has been advocated. The people have fostered a strong awareness of conservation and protection, followed a green and low-carbon lifestyle, and nurtured a sound social environment of upholding green development. Fifth, institutional building have been further improved. China has strengthened the rule of law, enhanced supervision management, and improved market mechanisms to provide a solid basis for green development. The third part of the book focuses on China's joint efforts with the rest of the international community to protect the planet. We all know planet Earth is the only home for mankind, and a beautiful homeland is the shared aspiration of all people. China has been active and constructive in global climate negotiations and made historic contributions to the adoption and implementation of the Paris Agreement. China has actively pursued South-South cooperation on climate, advanced Green Belt and Road cooperation, launched Green International Cooperation with the practical manner, and work together with the rest of the world for global sustainable development. China will firmly pursue green development, achieve modernization where man and nature are in harmony, and stand in solidarity with all countries to jointly build a cleaner and more beautiful world. And that concludes my opening remarks, and I will be ready for your questions. Thank you. Thank you very much. And the floor is open for questions. Please identify yourself before raising questions. Thank you. The paper. The low carbonization of energy is key to reducing air pollution and controlling the emission of greenhouse gases. In the past decade, what China has done to push through the green and low carbon transition? Thank you very much. I think the question is very much to the point. Energy is indispensable for mankind to live and thrive. Therefore, we must reform energy to pursue greater progress. In the past decade of the new era, China has accelerated the change of energy production and utilization, enhanced energy security and low carbon and green development, and provided important support for high-quality economic and social development, which could be seen in the following aspects. First, we have strengthened the ability to guarantee energy supply. We resolutely guard the bottom line of energy security and form a multi-faceted energy production system driven by coal, oil, gas, electricity, nuclear, and renewable energy. According to the data of the National Bureau of Statistics and the National Energy Administration, China's supply of coal, crude oil, natural gas, electricity supply have all achieved high-quality, steady growth. Two of my colleagues recently hosted a press conference, and they have shared the detail of the progress China has been made in this area, so I will not elaborate on that. In general, we have ensured the energy security of the country. Second, we have vigorously developed renewable energy. The installed capacity of wind power and PV power continue to expand. And the two kinds of power sources have gradually become the major part of newly installed capacity and power generation. By the end of 2022, the national installed capacity of wind and PV power exceeded 700 million kilowatts, both of which top the world. In 2022, the newly installed capacity of wind and PV power accounted for 78% of the national total increment. The newly generated wind and PV power accounted for more than 55% of the national total increment. All power generated by renewable energy was sold out, an assessment system of renewable electricity quota was implemented. The use of renewable energy was significantly increased. Third, we have improved the clean and efficient use of fossil fuels. We promoted the supply-side structural reform of the coal industry, implemented green coal mining, and coal power ultra-low emissions and energy-saving transformation. By the end of 2021, the total coal power units that realized ultra-low emissions exceeded more than 1 billion kilowatts. Energy-saving transformation was implemented of nearly 900 million kilowatts. Efforts were made to replace coal with natural gas, electricity, and renewable energy, and to promote the use of clean energy in final consumption. We launched special programs to upgrade the quality of refined oil products and ensure the quality of refined oil products to reach advanced international level. We also removed old vehicles with high pollution off the road and effectively reduced pollutant emissions. To coordinate energy security and green and low-carbon transformation and accelerate the construction of a clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient energy system is a very big topic. It is the goal and direction that must be adhered to in energy development for the long run. We'll build on the current success, make unremitting efforts, and earnestly implement the spirit of the 20th Party Congress. We'll deepen energy reform and provide even stronger support for the green and low-carbon transformation of the economy and society. Next question, please. Hong Kong Economic Daily. In the report to the party's 20th Congress,
it is promoted that we are going to move the manufacturing sector toward higher end, smarter and greener production. So how is the transition going in China's industrial and information sectors? Let me invite Mr. Xin to answer the question. Thank you very much. The party's 20th National Congress has made important decisions to promote the green development of the manufacturing industry and charted the way forward for green and low-carbon transformation and transition in this sector. Since the 18th Party Congress, we have conscientiously implemented Xi Jinping's thought on ecological civilization, implemented the new development concept, and taken a series of effective policy initiatives and achieved positive results. First, we have adjusted our industrial sector, such structure. Traditional manufacturing is adjusting at a faster pace. During the 13th five-year plan period, we phased out over 150 million tons of excess steel production capacity and 300 million tons of excess cement capacity, as well as all substandard steel capacity. Advanced manufacturing is growing. In 2021, the value added of our high-technology manufacturing and equipment manufacturing took up 15.1%, and 32.4% of our industrial total, up by 5.7 and 4.2 percentage points, respectively, compared with the year 2012. Second, continued improvement in energy and resource usage efficiency. We are working on conserving energy and reducing energy intensity for industries. In 2021, overall energy intensity per unit of steel, crude aluminum, cement clinker, plate glass, and other products dropped by over 9% over the year 2012, and the average coal consumption of coal-fired power units across the country dropped to 302.5 grams of standard coal per kilowatt, which have reached advanced levels in the world. We have promoted the recycling of resources. In 2021, we were able to reuse 2.1 billion tons of bulk industrial solid waste, and the recycling rate was up by nearly 10 percentage points over 2012. Third, significantly enhanced green supply capacity. We have vigorously enhanced the technologies. Million kilowatt level hydroelectric generating units went into operation. Polysilicon, silicon wafers, batteries, modules production accounts for over 70% of the global total. And we have also promoted the green transition of transportation vehicles. Production and sales of NEV ranked first for several years. Production exceeded 70 million in 2021. LNG, methanol, and other green energy-powered ships take up nearly 50% of the international market, and green building materials are well promoted and used across the country, in particular in the countryside. Third, further improvement in digitization and green integration. Digital technology is rapidly integrated with traditional industries, and the numerical control rate in key areas and links went up from 24.6% in 2012 to 55.3% in 2021. We have continued to improve the energy efficiency of new infrastructure. The energy consumption of 5G base stations has been lowered by over 20% compared with the initial stage of commercialization. We have cultivated 153 national green data centers, and the average design PUE value of big data centers currently under planning and construction nationwide has dropped to 1.3, and we are aiming at 1.2 to 1.1 in the future. Going forward, we will fully implement the spirit of the 20th CPC National Congress to make plans for our development from the perspective of harmonious coexistence between humanity and nature, and build technological systems and supporting systems for green and low-carbon manufacturing, so that our industrial sector will have high-end industrial structure, low-carbon energy consumption, recycling of resources, clean production, digitized manufacturing, and green supplies of products. Thank you for your question. Next question, please.
近年来，绿色产业受到广泛关注，已成为经济增长的新动能。中国目前绿色产业发展，
In recent years, green industry has attracted much attention as become the new economic growth driver. What has been done by China in developing its green industry?
谢谢这位记者的提问。大力发展绿色产业，
Thank you for your question.
培育绿色发展的新动能。
Developing green industries and cultivating and growing new momentum of green development are important ways to accelerate the green transformation of the development model. In the past decade of the new era, all local governments and departments have strengthened resource conservation and environment protection to promote the growth of green industries. First, enhance environment protection to create a huge market demand. Since the 18th Party Congress, China has invested much in fighting pollution, strengthening the protection and restoration of ecosystems, promoting the green transformation and upgrading of traditional industries, and developing clean energy, which have provided significant development opportunities for green industries. Especially in the context of the carbon peaking and carbon neutrality policies, the development of green industries has further accelerated. In recent years, the output of the energy conservation and environment protection industry has increased by more than 10% annually. The scale of production of clean energy equipment tops the world. Vice Minister Xin just shared with you that The production and sales of new energy vehicles has ranked the top of the world for 8 consecutive years. Second, various policy tools have been used to incentivize and guide through financial, taxation, price, and other policy measures. We have supported the development of green industries. Over the past decade, the central budget has allocated more than 100 billion yuan of investment to support the building of environment infrastructure. And in the 13th five-year plan, nearly 200 billion yuan annually has been used as compensation for ecological protection. More than 50 preferential policies on tax and fee have been in place, and the price mechanism for resources and environment has been improved. A green product evaluation standard has been established. Government green procurement increased, and green product consumption promoted. Third, we have strengthened green innovation and promoted the industrialization of green technology. China has continued to increase technological innovation. By the end of 2021, China had 49,000 valid invention patents in the energy conservation and environment protection industry, and 60,000 in the new energy, which were respectively 1.6 times and 1.7 times of the number in late 2017. A green technology and equipment manufacturing system covering energy, water, environment protection, renewable energy, and other fields has been formed. And technologies in new energy, pollution treatment, and environment monitoring have been among the world's leaders. Fourth, we have developed green finance and provided financial support for green industries. Green financial policies were improved to promote a multi-level systems of green financial products and markets. By the end of 2021, the balance of China's domestic and foreign green credit was 15.9 trillion yuan, and the balance of green bond stock was over 1.1 trillion yuan, both of which were among the largest in the world. Green industry has become a new driving force for economic growth and is showing great vitality. The development of green industry needs support from all sides. In particular, as the government level will continue to increase support for the green industry and promote the sustainable and healthy development of the green industry. Thank you. Next question, please. China Daily. Over the years, we can feel that the environment is getting better and the mountains are greener, waters are clearer. The harmony between man and nature are increasingly felt and seen. What has China done to achieve low-carbon and green development and build a clean and ecologically livable home for the Chinese people?
Thank you. I will take this question. Building an ecological civilization and strengthening ecological environmental protection will not only meet the people's growing needs for a sound ecological environment, but also promote high-quality development and green low-carbon development. Under the guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on ecological civilization, we have declared a war on pollution, fought resolutely the critical battle of pollution control, and then pushed that battle further. In the past decade, China's ecological protection measures are more substantive, stronger, and more effective than ever. And we have done the following. in this area. First, we have worked to resolve outstanding ecological and environmental problems. We have followed a lawful, targeted, and science-based approach to pollution control to keep our skies blue, our waters clear, and lands clean. Average PM 2.5 concentration of cities across the country dropped from 46 milligrams per cubic meter in 2015 to 29 in 2022. That is the fastest air quality improvement in the world. Good quality surface water bodies take up 87.9%, and we have put a comprehensive ban on foreign solid waste. We have stepped up efforts to restore ecological environment. Our people feel a stronger sense of fulfillment, happiness, and security in this regard. Second, we have actively carried out the Beautiful China initiative. We have introduced the guidelines for building a beautiful China and strengthening ecological environment protection. We are working hard to protect the ecological environment in Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, Yangtze River Economic Belt, the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, the Yangtze River Delta, and the Yangtze and Yellow River basins. And with a focus on major national regional strategies, we are working to promote pioneers and frontrunners in this regard. We have released the list of the first batch of 18 beautiful lakes and rivers and 8 beautiful bays, and we have designated 468 counties as pioneering zones and 187 areas in practicing the philosophy of green is gold. Green is gold. There are 187 innovation bases in this regard, and these represent a major step in building a beautiful China. And we have made efforts to promote green and low-carbon development. Coordinated and more effective pollution and emission reduction has become a key area in our green transition. We have implemented relevant implementation plan and put in place a zoning system for ecological environment protection to improve the industrial structure and energy structure, as well as transportation structures. We have established the first innovation zone for pollution and emission reduction coordination and promoted green and low-carbon ways of life. Fourth, we have taken a deep part in global ecological and environmental governance. China successfully hosted COP15 of the Biodiversity Convention second phase. In particular, through the second phase, the international community reached consensus on the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, thus ushering in a new stage in the global effort in this regard. That is the first time that China, as the president, has led the negotiation of this treaty and achieved consensus and success. We have worked for positive results of COP27 of UNFCCC and advanced Green Belt and Road cooperation. We have proposed the International Alliance on Green Belt and Road Cooperation and Big Data Platform for Ecological and Environmental Protection. We have promoted South-South cooperation in the ecological field. And going forward, we will study and implement the 20th Party Congress, continue to improve the quality of the ecological environment, promote high-quality development, and promote high quality life with a high level of environmental protection, and strive to achieve Chinese modernization in which humanity and nature coexist harmoniously. Thank you. Next question, please.
中间第二排吧。谢谢主持人，我是长江日报的驻京记者。中国呢人口众多，在推进现代
China
化
has a
建
big
设的进程
population,
中，
and
将
in
长期面
advancing
临尖锐的本地
modernization,
矛盾。 那
China
么
will
面对这样
face
的现实，请问我国在统筹
will be
土地
strained
的开
in
发和
this
保护等
regard.
方
So
面
what
将
will
采取哪些
China
举措，
do
以促
to
进发展方
utilize
式的
land
绿色转型，
land
以及
development and
实现社会
protection,
的可持续
and
发
how
展？
to
谢谢。
achieve sustainable economic and social development?
谢谢这位记者的提问。大家知道人多地少啊，是
Thank you
我
very
们国家
much.
的基本国情。那么要实现经济
The
社会可
basic
持续的发展呢，在
condition
土
of
地利
China
用
is
和保
that
护上，
there
唯
are
一的
too
出
many
路
people and
是
too
严
little
格保
land.
护耕地，节用
To
地。
achieve sustainable
我们
economic and
采取
social
的政策措施
development,
呢，
the
概括
only
起
way
来
out
就是
is
我
to
们四
strictly
化。
protect
一个
arable
呢是
land
严
and
控增量，
use land
第二
efficiently.
个呢是盘活存量，
The policy
第三个是
measures
优
could
化
be
结构，
summarized as
第
four
四个呢是提
aspects.
升效率。
First, strict
我呢
control
这
of
里
the
简要给大
increment.
家介绍一下。
Second, revitalize
一
the
个呢是
stock.
严控增量，
Third, optimize
耕
the
地呢
structure.
是
And
粮食生
fourth,
产的内
improve
增。
efficiency.
那么是最为
First,
宝贵的资源。
about strictly
我们
control
必须呢始
the
终坚持最
increment.
严格的耕地保护
Arable
制
land is the lifeblood of
实施
food
最严格
production.
的
It
用
is
途
the
管
most
制。
invaluable resources.
从
So we
原则
must
上呢，
always
控制
adhere to the
各类建设，
strictest
对
system
耕
of
地
arable land protection,
各种农用地
implement
的占用。
strict land use
“十四
control,
五”期间呢，
and
全国
prevent
新增建设用地规模呢，
the arable
我们将
land
要
and
控
other
制在
agricultural land being used
2950
for
万亩，
construction
比
purposes.
“13五”期间
In
压减
14th
300万亩。
5-year
第二呢是
plan
盘活存量，
period, the
我们要改革土地利用计划管理，
new construction land
坚持土地
nationwide
要
was
素
controlled
根据项
within
目走。实
29.5
施呢
million mu,
增量的安排呢要与存量的盘
a
活
3
挂钩，
million mu decrease
告
compared to
别
the 13th
各地
5-year
呢
plan
盘
period.
活存量。
Second,
那
revitalize
么
the
这一个
stock.
机制呢是
We removed the
2018
land
年我
plan
们实施
management
以来
model
呢，
to
这个
ensure
5年
that
间
land elements stay
全
with
国
the
共
project,
消化替
implemented
未
the
供
integrated
审批了
planning
以后
of
再
land
供应
stock
出去，
and
以
increment
及呢供应
to
以后
forced
闲置的
local
土地
governments to
共
make
计呢
greater efforts
2200
to
多
revitalize
万亩，
the land stock.
这相当于
Since
年度
the
新
system
增我
was
们安
launched
排
in
计划规模的3
2019,
倍多。
we have processed more than 22 million mu of unsupplied or unused land in
第三
5
呢是
years,
优化结构。
3
那
times
么
of the
在
annual
城镇用地
newly
方面
planned
呢，我们
construction
着
land.
力推动城镇低效用地再开
Third,
发，
improve
用存
structure.
量来换增量。
We focus on
鼓励地上和
redeveloping
地下的空
the
间立体
low
开发，
efficiency
用
land in
地
urban
下
areas
来换地上。
to use
在农村用地
stock
方面
in
呢，
exchange
我们要
for
大力推
increment.
广
Also, we
这
encouraged
个
the
全域的土地综合
integrated
整治，
development of
在耕地总
above
量
ground
不
and
减少，
underground spaces.
永久基本农田
And in
布
terms
局
of
基本稳
optimizing
定的
the
前提下
land
呢，
structure in rural
因地制
areas,
宜，把
we
山上
promoted
的耕
the
地逐步调整
integrated
到山下，
management
山
and
下
planning
的果
of
树
all
林木
rural
尽
areas,
量调整上
while
山上坡，
ensuring the
用
stable amount
山
of
上
arable
换
land
山下，
and the
也就是
stable
用结
layout
构优
of
化来
permanent
释放土地空
basic
间。
farmland.
第四呢
We
是提
Take
升
into
效率，
account the different
深入
conditions
推
of
进城
different
乡
areas
统一的
to
建设用地
move
市场建设，
the arable
完善
land
国有土地
in
有
high
偿使用制
mountains
度，
into
大力来推动
lower
工业用地
areas
啊
and
出租
move
和
the
出让这种相
fruit
结合
and
的
other
这种制
forests
度，
up
健全土地二级市场，
along the mountain
修订
to
基
use
础设施
areas
用地
above
控制标准，
the
扩大
mountain
基础设施用地啊有偿使用范围，
for
要努力用
areas
资
under
金
the
和
mountain.
技术来
Fourth,
换空间。
improve efficiency. We deeply
开展自然资
promoted
源
the
节
building
约
of
节
a
约示范
unified
线，
urban and
创
rural
建活动，
construction land market,
引导全社
improved
会
the
来提
compensation
高
systems
节约
for
节用地
state-owned
的意
land
识。
use, and
15
promoted
期
the
间，我
lease
们努力
of
推动全
industrial
国
land
单
and
位
improved the
GDP 建设
secondary
用地
land
使用
market.
面积，也
We
就是
revised
我们常
control
说的地耗
quota
呢，要
of
下降
infrastructure land,
15%
expanded the
左右。
scope of compensated
党
use
到
of
市场报告
infrastructure
提出
land,
呢，要加快
and
发
carried
展
out natural resource conservation
方式呢绿色转
demonstration
型，
cities to
实
guide the
施全
society to
面
raise
节约战
awareness
略。
of land
我们将
conservation.
继续完善
The
包括
report of
土
the
地在内
20th
的
Party
各类
Congress
自然资源
proposed
的节
to
约节约利
speed
用
up
政策
the
体系，
green
不断
transformation
提
of
高节约
development
节约利
model,
用的水平，
and will continue
努
to
力呢
improve
用最少
the
的资
policy
源环境代
systems
价
for natural resources conservation, including land, and to achieve and to support the enormous amount of development, economic progress with minimum cost of resources. Thank you. Next question, please. China News Agency. In the fourth chapter of the white paper, China's data in green manufacturing was included. And I noticed that since the 13th five-year plan, green manufacturing has been incorporated into national development. What is its significance to green development, and what will be the future measures to further promote green manufacturing?
Thank you for your question. Since the 13th five-year plan, thanks to the support and cooperation of various departments and agencies, we have put the focus on major projects supported by green factories, green supply chains, and green industrial parks. In view of conserving energy, reducing emission, and enhancing efficiency, we have advanced the building of green manufacturing. We have cultivated 2,783 green factories, 296 green supply chain companies, and 223 green industrial parks, and promoted nearly 20,000 green products nationwide. According to preliminary statistics, the average disposal and reuse rate of solid waste in green industrial parks exceeded 95%, a big improvement from ordinary industrial parks, and energy consumption of green factories far outperform the national standards, and we have put in place a whole chain of green product supply. As for its significance to China's green development, I think there are the following. Green manufacturing is an intrinsic requirement of pursuing high-quality manufacturing development and building a modern industrial system. It is the fundamental path to break the bottlenecks of resources and environmental constraints and realize sustainable development. It is a strong safeguard for energy conservation and utilization and achieve security and development. What we need to do, it is also what we need to do to adapt to technological advances and the improvement of economic structure, and it meets our people's growing needs and is conducive to harmonious coexistence of man and nature. And we will work on the 5 following aspects to promote green manufacturing. First, we will improve the system for green manufacturing and services. In light of the new circumstances, tasks, and requirements, we will introduce the guidelines for speeding up the green and good quality development of manufacturing. We will build a tiered mechanism for cultivating green manufacturing criteria. Second, we are building a policy system for supporting green and low-carbon transformation and upgrading. We will coordinate efforts to cut emissions, reduce pollution, expand green development and pursue economic growth, make good use of fiscal, taxation, financial and pricing policy resources at the central and local levels to form a multi-tiered, diverse package of supporting policies to support companies to advance the transformation, green and low-carbon transformation and upgrading. Third, we will strengthen green and low-carbon standards. We are rolling out the guidelines for green and low-carbon standardization in the industrial and information technology sectors, fully leverage the role of standardization technical organizations to speed up the creation and revision of relevant standards. Fourth, we will work to utilize digitization in manufacturing. We will promote the coordinated digitization and green transition, leverage the role and application of AI, Internet of Things, cloud computing, and digital twin, and other new generation information technology in green manufacturing. Fifth, we will deepen international exchange and cooperation. Based on the existing mechanisms, we are going to promote exchanges and cooperation on technological innovation, outcome commercialization, and policies and standards, and promote practical cooperation in this regard. Thank you. Next question, please.
中间第4排吧。
谢谢主持人。三沙卫视记者提问：我们在
Thank
白
you.
皮书的第6章中看
In
到了
the
推动绿
6th
色发展
chapter,
体制机制是关键。那请问
it is
近年
mentioned
来
that
在构建和完善生态文明
institutions
制
and
度
the
体系
mechanisms
和
are
持
the
续
key
提
to
升绿色发展
promote
治理
green
项目方面，
development.
我们
So
做了
what
哪些
has
工
been
作？
done
目前
in
进展如何？
promoting
下一
green
步有何打
development,
算？谢
governance,
谢。
efficiency, and
那请
what
生
is the
态环境部
progress
的
and
赵
what
一鸣部长来回答。
is your plan for the future?
好，谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
过去10年，
In the past,
我们坚
decade
持着力构建产权清晰、
we have
多元
worked to
参与、
build a
激励约束
institutional
并重、
system for
系
ecological
统完整的
civilization with clearly
生态
defined
制度体系，
property
为
rights,
经济发展绿色
wide
化、低碳化
participation, and put
提
in
供了
place
有
both
力的
incentives and
体制机
constraints,
制、制度保障。
which provides
那么，
a
我想给
strong
大家介绍3
institutional
个方面的
safeguards
情况。
for green and
第
low
一是
carbon
法
economic
治建设情
development.
况。
And I want to talk about the
过去
following
10
three
年
aspects.
是
First,
生
in
态
terms
环
of
境立法力
legal
度最大、监管
framework,
执法
the
力度
past
最严，
decade saw the
也
most
是
vigorous
法律制度
lawmaking,
实施效果
strictest
最显著的10年。
supervision and law
生态
enforcement,
文明写
and
入
most
宪法。
remarkable results
过去
in
10
this
年只修
regard.
订了26部生态环保领域的法律法规，
You've revised 26
现行
laws
有
in
效的
this area.
法律法规达到
There are
了
currently
30部。
over
那么涵
30
盖了大
laws
气、
in
水、
ecological and
污染、
environmental
物废、
protection,
噪声等
covering key
污染
areas
防治
of
领域，
air,
以及长
water,
江、黄
soil,
河、
solid
湿
waste,
地、
noise,
黑土地等
and
重要的生态系
important
统和要
ecological
素。
systems and elements such as
生
the
态
Yangtze
环保
River,
领域
the
的
Yellow
法律
River,
法规体系
wetlands,
基本
and
形成。
black soil,
截止到去年
and
年
put in
底，
place a sound
现
legal
行国
framework.
家
As
生态
of
环
the
境
end
保
of
护标准达
2022,
到了
the national standards
2298项，有
for
效地推动
ecological
了
environment reached
行业技术经济进步和产业结构
2,298,
的优化升级，
which give
持续深
give
化
a strong
省
boost
以
to
下
the
生态环境机构
upgrading of our
监测
industrial
监察执
structure.
法、垂直管理制
We
度
have
改革，
deepened the
生态
reforms
环境保护
for
综合
vertical
行政执法
management
改
of
革，
surveillance and
优化
inspection,
执法制度与方式，
and reform
探索
of
对
integrated administrative
4.4万余家
actions
企
and
业
law
纳入
enforcement
正面
to
清单，
improve
分类
our
监
law
管，
enforcement
加强
institutions
空
and
间地
methods.
一体化的高技术
And
手
we
段
have
应用，
strengthened
不断地提
the
高
application
环
of
境执法
high-tech
的精准性
means
和科学
in
性。
space, sky, and
第
land
二
to
是监
improve
管制度方
to
面，
make our law enforcement
中
more
央生
targeted.
态环境保护
In
督
terms
察
of
制
the
度
regulatory
成为
system,
了落实
the
生态
central
保护责
ecological
任的
environmental
利剑，
protection
有
inspection
效地解
system
决
has
了一大
become
批
a
突出的生
effective
态环境
weapon
问题，建立健
in
全
this
生态保护
area.
红线、生态
We
环境
have
分区管控、
put in
排污
place
许
various
可、
institutions,
环境质量监测事权上收、
for example, the
入河
pollutant
入海
discharge
口、
permit system,
排污
the
口
river
设置管理
estuary
等一系列的监
monitoring
管
and
制度，
surveillance system,
健全完善
and other
生态
systems.
环境保护党政同责一岗双责，
We've made sure the
生
party
态环境
organizations
损
and
害责任
governments
遵循
share
追
the
究，
responsibility
自
of
然资源、
ecological
资
environmental
产利润审
protection,
计、生
the
态文明
auditing of
建设目
natural
标评
resources
价考核
assets,
等一系列
evaluation of
重要的
ecological
制度
targets,
在内的责任
and
体
other
系。
surveillance and inspection
生态环境损
institutions.
害赔偿制度改革
We
已
have
经从
reformed
试点试行
reformed the
转向了
compensation
全
system
面
for
常态
ecological
化实施
damage,
的新阶段。
which is now implemented as
三
a
是
regular
从市场机制
institution.
方面，
Third, in
建立
terms of
碳排放权交易
market
制度，
mechanisms,
成功
we
启
have
动
put in
全
place
球
an
覆盖
emissions
温室
cap
气
and
体
trade
排放量
system
最大的
covering
全国碳市
the
场，
largest
顺利完成了
greenhouse
第一个
gas
履约周
emission
期
in the world.
健
We
全
have
绿
completed the
绿
first
色税收
compliance
体系，
cycle
将碳普及利
and
用与
improved
封存、
the
工
green
业废价
taxation
综合利
system,
用等项目呢纳入
carbon
企业
arrest,
所得税优惠目录，
carbon capture and
支持对
storage,
从事
and
污
solid
染防
waste
治的第三方企业
reutilization
减
are
按15%税
giving
率征收企业
companies
所得税，
tax
对
cuts,
低于排放标准排污的
and
纳
such
税人
companies are
实施
taxed at
环保
15%
税
rate.
减税优惠。
The total tax cuts
近
in
3年
environmental
累计
protection
超
in the
过
last 3
130
years
亿元，
totaled over
发挥绿色
13
金融
billion
作用，
yuan. We have
开
leveraged
展
the
生
role
态
of
环境导
green
向的开
finance.
发
We
模
have
式试点，
conducted pilots
气
on
候
the
变化投
ecological
融资
environment
试点，
oriented
深
EOD
化
model and
生态保护
climate
补
change
偿制度
investment
改
and
革，
financing.
推动建
We
立
have deepened
跨
the
省流域、
compensation
上
system
下游横向
to
生态补
explore
偿机
the
制，
horizontal
稳步
compensation
推进
system
企业
in
环境信息依
13
法
river basins and steadily advanced the system of law-based disclosure and climate and environment credit system. All these efforts have ensures that we are better able to guide, incentivize, and adjust the market, which will boost our green economic transition. We will conscientiously implement the party's decisions at the 20th Congress, improve the financial taxation, fiscal investment pricing policies and standards system, and enhance the governance system and governance capacity in order to more vigorously promote green development. Thank you. Next question, please. Thank you. The white paper mentioned that in the past decade, China's utilization efficiency of energy, water, land, and raw materials has been enhanced significantly. So could you please share with us such experience and good practices?
中国呢是资源需求的大国。
Thank you for your
我们呢节
question.
约能源，
China
节
is
约
a
资
major
源，
resource
提
consumer,
升呢资源利用的效率，
and resource conservation
对
is
中国
of
自身
great significance to
乃
China
至呢
and
对全
even
球的资源安全
to global
都是
resource
有重要意
security.
义的。新时代的10年，
In the past decade of
中
new
国
era,
深入贯彻落实
China has implemented
生态文明思想，
the Xi Jinping thought on ecological civilization and taken strong and effective
推
measures
动啊
to
资源利用效
significantly
率
improve
在不断
resource
地
efficiency.
显著的提升。一是呢加强规
First,
划引领，
we have strengthened
中
planning
国
and
将资
guidance.
源节约的指标
China has incorporated
纳入到呢
resource
5年规
conservation
划当中。
indicators into its 5-year
建立
plans,
完善评价考核的制度，
established and improved evaluation
推动
assessment
地方
systems,
和部门
and promoted
落实管理
local and departmental implementation of
国务院
management
和有关部
responsibilities.
门制定印发
The State Council and
节能
relevant
减排
departments
综
issued
合工作方案，
comprehensive plans on energy
制定呢
conservation,
印发节水型社会建设规划，
emission reduction,
还有呢
water
循
saving
环经济发
society,
展规划
circular
等
economy
等啊
development,
系列的重要文
and
件，
other related
全
areas
面的部署资
to
源节约工作，
forge
在工作落实
synergy
当中
on
也是能够形成
resource
合力的。
conservation.
二是呢
Second,
强化重
we
点
have
领域的
improved
节约体
the
效，
efficiency of conservation in key
围绕呢
areas.
工业、
For example, in
建
manufacturing,
交通运输、
construction,
公共机构
transportation,
等重点领
public
域，
institutions, and
大
other
力
key
推进
areas,
呢
we
技
have
术节
vigorously
能、
promoted
管理
energy
节能、
saving through
结构节
technology,
能
management, and
这是
structure.
刚才在工业领域，绿色制造啊，新部长
Green
已经介绍了相关
manufacturing
情况。
is
我们开
a
展呢
case
国
in
家
point.
节水行动，
We also carried out
推广呢
national water
农业高效
conservation
灌溉，
program and advocated efficient
严
irrigation
控
agriculture.
新增建
We
设用
strictly
地，
controlled the
强
increase
化
of
呢
construction
粮
land
食
and
全产业
strengthened
链的节约
conservation
减
and
速。
loss control of the whole food industry
2021
chain.
年，规模以上工业单
In
位增加值的能耗
2021, the energy consumption per
万元
unit of
工业
added
增加值
value
用
of
水量
industry above the designated size
比
and
呢
the water
2012
consumption per
大幅
10,000
下
yuan
降，
of added value industry
分别呢下
dropped
降了
significantly from
36.2% 和
2012 by 36.2% and 55%
市场化的
respectively.
机制，
Third, we have established and improved
促
market-based
进资源
mechanisms
节
to
约
promote
和高效
conservation
利
and
用，
efficient use of resources.
全面的推行呢居民用电
We fully implemented the ladder price
用
system
气
for
阶
electricity,
梯价格制，
water, and gas
啊，
for
通过阶梯
residents,
价格让大家呢来尽可能的节约。对高
and
耗能行业呢实
differentiated
施差别
electricity
化的电价政
prices
策，
for high energy
落实呢
consuming
税收
industries.
优惠政策，
Preferential tax
探索开
policies
展
were
用
rolled out,
能权
and market-based
用水权
transactions of
等
energy
市场
use
化交
rights
易，
and water use
推
rights
动
were
了资
piloted
源
to
高
promote
效配
efficient
置。
allocation of resources.
四是强化呢
Fourth,
法规标准的约
We
束，
have strengthened regulations
制
and
定修订
standards. We
节约能源法，
enacted and revised
反食
laws
品
on
浪费
energy
法，
conservation,
公共机
food
构
waste,
节能
and
条例，
regulations on
等法律
energy
法规，
conservation public institutions.
严肃的查处
We
违
have
法违规行为，
seriously investigated and handled
对
illegal
标
and
呢国际
non-compliant
先进水平，
behaviors.
制定完善重点行业、重点产
Measured
品
against
的
high
能
international
耗、
standards,
水
we
耗、
developed and improved the
物耗的标
standards
准，
on the
并
consumption
且
of
呢
energy
狠抓
and
落实。
material for key industries and key
五是呢
products.
推动全社会共同
Fifth,
来参
we
与。
have encouraged the participation of
围
the
绕
whole
资源节
society.
约这个主题呀、
various activities have been launched on resource conservation with a view to raising the public awareness of saving and conserving resources. Over the years, we have held 32 National Energy Conservation Week and 31 National Urban Water Conservation Week. Next step will thoroughly implement the spirit of the 20th Party Congress, uphold a comprehensive conservation strategy, accelerate the fundamental shift in the use of resources, and power development with a more rational, secured, and sustainable way, so as to provide a strong guarantee for building a modern socialist country in all respects. Thank you. Next question, please. China Education TV. We noticed that there's a special chapter in the white paper explaining the green space pattern. We know to optimize territorial space system and development is an important part of the green space. So what are the considerations in forming a green space? Thank you very much. Territorial space is an important part of national building, and General Secretary Xi Jinping stressed the need to plan economic and social development from the perspective of harmonious coexistence between man and nature. We must adhere to the policy of giving priority to conservation, protection, and natural restoration, and form a territorial space system, industrial structure, and production model that conserve resources and protect the environment. The Ministry of Natural Resources has earnestly followed through on the important instructions made by General Secretary Xi Jinping of the territorial space system, and we have promoted the formation of a green space pattern. The focus is on the following three aspects. First, coordinate development and security to ensure the bottom line of resource security to support high-quality development and ensure food security. We have set defending the red line for the protection of arable land and permanent basic farmland as a priority. It is made clear that the task of protecting 120 million hectares of arable land will remain unchanged from 2021 to 2035. To ensure natural ecological security, the red line for ecological protection has been set, of which the red line area for ecological protection, the land area, accounts for more than 30% of the land area as a whole. To curb the disorderly spread of cities and towns, the red line for megacities, cities with a net increase in population, and for cities with per capita urban construction land exceeding the national standard, the urban development boundary will be strictly set according to 1.1 times of the current urban construction land and 1.3 times for other cities. Second, coordinate protection and development and optimize the territorial space system. We implemented a main functional area strategy in accordance with the natural geographical pattern, resource and environment capacity, and optimized the strategic layout of main production areas of agricultural products, key ecological function areas. We coordinated the spatial layout of water conservancy, transportation, energy, and other infrastructure, and built a new development pattern of multi-centered network and open territorial planning. Third, coordinate protection and restoration and promote the integrated protection and systemic management of mountain, water, forest, farmland, lakes, grass, and sand. We coordinated the layout of the natural reserve system with national parks as the main, and integrated the protection and restoration of land, rivers, lakes, oceans, and other important ecosystems. We launched programs on improving the land of the territorial space to make sure that sky is bluer, greener, mountains greener, water clearer, and environment better. The 20th Party Congress report proposed to build a regional economic layout and territorial space system with complementary advantages and high-quality development. It also stressed the need to improve the main function zone system and optimize the territorial space system, promote the building of a beautiful China, and enhance the diversity, stability, and sustainability of the ecosystem. We'll continue to well manage the three pairs of relations by good coordination, and promote high-quality development and a higher level of security. Thank you.
Next question, please. Thank you, Phoenix TV. The white paper calls on all countries in the world to work together to tackle climate change and protect the planet. So what impact has China's green development had on the global climate response, and what are your plans for the future? Thank you for your question. I will take the question. Thank you for raising a very important question. Just now, Mr. Zhao Chenxin from the Ministry of Ecology and Environment has made very good points because he personally participated in many negotiations and attended the COP15 for Biodiversity Convention, and I would like to add to that. First of all, China is the largest developing country in the world. The fruitful results of China's green development have strongly supported the global climate response. And we are more than willing to share with the rest of the world our experience in the green development. And that has been elaborated in the white paper. First, China has been committed to a green and low-carbon development path that's making great contributions to global climate response. Over the past decade of the new era, China has actively adjusted its industrial, energy, and transportation structures, promoted green and low-carbon ways of production and life, and exceeded the target of reducing carbon emission intensity by 40 to 45% by 2022 over to 2005. We have improved the renewable energy equipment manufacturing capacity. Wind power and photovoltaic power generation equipment production ranked first in the world, providing a strong impetus for the global energy transition. We have also stepped up efforts to protect and restore the ecosystems. We are among the first in the world to achieve zero increase in land degradation and double decrease in desertification and sandy land area. Our forest coverage rate and forest accumulation have both grown, contributing more green areas to the world. Since the turn of the century, about a quarter of the world's new green area, or 25%, comes from China. At the same time, China has actively advanced the global climate negotiations, carried out South-South cooperation on climate change, promoted Green Belt and Road cooperation. As I said in my answers to previous questions, China has provided, to the best of its capacity, assistance and support to other developing countries, thus playing a very important role in enhancing the global capacity in the face of climate change. Second, China has made the major strategic decision in setting the carbon peaking and neutrality targets, injecting strong impetus into the global climate response. China has made the solemn commitment that China will strive to peak carbon emissions before 2030 and strive to achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. That will make the biggest reduction in carbon emission intensity in the world. That means China will move from carbon peaking to carbon neutrality in the shortest time span in world history. All these efforts will forcefully advance the global decarbonization process. To push forward our carbon peaking and carbon neutrality work, China has set up a central leading group, and all provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities have also set up their own leading groups, so as to formulate a structure of top-bottom coordination and cross-regional collaboration. We have put in place a 1+N policy framework for carbon peaking and carbon neutrality. We put in place the 10 actions for carbon peaking in order to advance our relevant work with clear objectives, reasonable division of work, strong measures, and orderly coordination. Thanks to the efforts of all sectors, we have made positive progress in key areas. For example, perhaps you already know that the construction of 450 million kilowatts of large wind power and photovoltaic bases focusing on deserts and Gobi deserts has been well underway. The first batch of about 100 million kilowatts of projects have been launched, and the second and third batches are now in the pipeline. In 2021, the ratio of new green building area in urban areas will be increased, has been increased to 84%. And in the last few years, China has invested more in clean energy. I've seen some numbers from the International Energy Agency, which shows that in 2021, China's investment in clean energy totaled $380 billion, ranking first in the world. So both domestic and external statistics are showing that China is taking concrete measures and steps to encourage the whole world to realize decarbonization targets. In the future, China will unswervingly implement the major strategic decision of carbon peaking and carbon neutrality, speed up the transition to a green development model, and contribute to the global climate response. First, we will steadily and positively work for carbon peaking and carbon neutrality and strike a balance between development and emission reduction, the whole and the part, long-term goals and short-term targets, and the market and the government. Second, based on China's energy and resource endowment, we will advance the energy revolution in line with the principles of holistic planning and building the new before discarding the old, and speed up the planning and development of a new energy system. Third, we will speed up the adjustment and improvement of industrial structure and promote green and low-carbon industrial development. Fourth, we will promote the conservation of resources and their efficient utilization and we will conserve various resources and use them efficiently. And fifth, we will continue to improve our policy system for a green and low-carbon development. Sixth, we will take an active part in the global governance on climate change, conduct broad international cooperation in the area of green and low-carbon development, and work for building a clean and beautiful world. Thank you.
That's the live signal we have for you here in Beijing, where